Stop playing with him.
Welcome, guys. It's the No Mistakes podcast. In life, there are no mistakes, just life lessons. I'm one of your hosts, that JBJ.
I'm Shakir B. And today, right. So today we have a real live superhero in the building. Right. And let me tell you why I say real life superhero, man. We have a brother here today who really embodies what it is to be a black man, what it is to be an example, what it is to be a role model. And I'm going to say definitely a role model to me. I've known this brother for over a decade. And the perfect person to talk about what it is to be married today as a black man, my boy, Demar Rainey. What's up, bro?
What's going on?
Nice.
Real life superhero.
Alright,
Real life superhero.
That's what's up.
Just
Right?
a normal dude, man.
Yo, let me tell you why superhero, right? Because we have like today, you know, me and Jimmy, you know, we be doing this podcast to kind of bring everyday perspective from everyday people, right? We're not up here talking about celebrity news and nothing like that. And, you know, black men today, we get a bad rep,
Agreed.
right? We get a bad rep. And there's a lot of good dudes out there who should be celebrated, who should be highlighted. And thinking about this topic and who we was going to bring on, you were the first person that came to my mind. So I was like, I got to call D.
Nice.
He's a superhero. Right? And he's going to, you know, be able to have a conversation to shed light on the ups, downs, lefts, rights of marriage, what it is to be a black man in a marriage, a dad. So, you know, the first question, man, we're going to start out with is, you know, what is it to be a black man married in America today?
Wow. Hey, I appreciate that, brother. You know, we know each other for a while, but I mean, yeah, I appreciate the intro, man. It's I try to be a good guy. You know what I mean? And so I thank you, man. That was touchy. All right, so the question was, what is it like to be a black man married?
In America
In
today.
America today.
For me, easy. And I say that because I enjoy being married.
Okay.
Fortunately, I have a woman that allows me to be happy to be married.
Gotcha.
You know,
That's a big piece.
yeah, you know what I mean.
Big piece.
I don't get the headaches, even though she's a woman, and y'all crazy.
I'm glad he said it, but I agree.
The views of the guests don't necessarily.
I agree.
Y'all are bananas. But she's able to kind of reel some of that craziness in, and but I mean, honestly, they're going to say we're crazy also.
Of course.
You know what I mean? So it's like everyone has their flaws. You just have to find the person that kind of you could connect with, and the flaws that they have, you're able to get past them, deal with them, and you know they're able to deal with yours as well, which y'all balance each other. But nobody's perfect. You know what I mean? So there's.
I think you know, with us knowing each other, you know, we've talked about some of the things you've gone through in your marriage, and I'm like, man, I don't know. I don't know if they gonna make it. And then next time I see you, I'm like, no, we good, man. We worked it out. And I'm like, I admire the fortitude because I don't have that. Right. Like I got to be honest. I got to cap to the nonsense, the BS, all that.
Right.
I'm not saying I got a 3-strike rule, but I might have a 20-strike rule.
Ain't no such thing when you're married, bro. No such
And that's what I'm saying. And that's why I struggle with reaching that I'm gonna get married thing. right? So how do you maintain the fortitude to stay in your marriage and continue to work on your marriage? Because we know people get divorced like that.
Yeah. I don't necessarily think there's a definitive thing that she and I we both love the hell out of each other, but that love ain't enough. We respect each other.
True.
That's a big one.
And we both want to be married. I look at her and she is definitely, I see some of the positives that she has brought to me. She's helped me. I mean, my two oldest sons, I was married before. I've been married twice.
Okay.
So my two oldest sons, they were from my first marriage. And she helped me be a better father to them.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So, you know, I wish I could answer it differently than she makes it easy to be. It's a you have to be considerate of someone else, consider of someone else when you're in a relationship.
Right.
You know, their feelings have to matter. That's a lot, especially when you're trying to, you know, get your stuff together, and then you have to be concerned about what someone else thinks. It's a lot.
I can imagine.
It's a lot, but it we make it work because we both have the we both want to make it work. There's not neither one is not putting in less of an effort.
Got you.
Yeah.
We both are striving to make each other. We love each other. We think one of the things that also helps is she's fine as fuck to me. You know what I mean?
Listen, that
Like
helps.
that's a big thing.
That helps. That definitely helps.
She definitely keeps herself
Together.
together
That's good.
and still, you know, puts that energy out to
Yeah, man.
still be fine.
You hear a lot about, you know, like in marriages, what tends to happen is, you know, I mean,
I already know what you're going to say.
but we're guilty of it too, right? We're guilty of it too. Sometimes we get married, we let ourselves go. We don't do the things we used to do anymore. We don't do the things we used to do to get the man or get the woman.
Right.
And then
right.
now you just sitting there looking like,
Like,
you know what I'm
bro,
saying?
when you
You're
going to hit
upset,
the
But
gym?
I'm gonna be honest, like we both have it, and it's funny. Like she can't get fat.
Mm.
That's a. But, and I know some women may hear this and be like, "What?
Yeah.
What she?" But no,
what if she did, right?
yeah. But that's her, also to me. Like there's a certain level of like we met each other. We getting
So
older.
wait. When you say she can't get fat, that's saying that you at some point communicated to her like, don't get fat.
Yeah, no.
Or
I
just
like
her
what.
body's-
Yeah, no. I like you. Like you now. Again, as you get older, you naturally get.
Of
you
course,
can't
of
say
course.
fuck
Stick
it.
different.
You can't say fuck it.
Right.
You know, you can't get complacent and say, well, I'm married. I done had
well,
kids.
deal with it.
Yeah, you just got to
Yeah.
deal with it. This is me now.
I done had 2-3 kids for you. You just gotta deal with it. Get what you get.
Now, if I seen you putting in the effort to maintain, and you just because everyone's body's hormonally,
Of course,
you just
It's
can't.
different.
That's different.
Gotta have some understanding.
But if you just say, "Hey, fuck
I
it,
checked
yeah,
out.
this is me. You want to accept me like I am?"
Right.
No, then but that's the same way. I'm gonna say something, but she used to always say to me, she's like, "You can't just."
oh, shit.
I'm not gonna allow you to. I don't want to just feel your stomach on my ass.
Oh,
Like that's it's just like it's like.
but listen though. That right there though, that sets the bar.
Yeah,
Because if she can let it be known like that, then you
like,
you
yo,
should have
you
no
just
problem
can't
being
be-
like,
Right.
yo, real shit. Like there was a time when I started. Now I used to be definitely more in shape than I am now, but
Shit, stick different, bro.
yeah,
Once you
no,
hit a
I
certain
mean,
age,
but,
stick different.
and like honestly, this is no bullshit. I remember we was in the kitchen one day, and I remember like I was doing so I had walked out, had my shirt off, and she looked at me, and I was like, and I saw her look. It was like,
She gave me the stank look.
Yo. And I was like, yo,
Why'd she look at me like that?
what's that? And she was like, huh? I was like, no.
Oh man.
I was like, yo, what? She was like,
I'm about to wake up
feeling that.
tomorrow.
Nah,
Work out.
listen.
I'm not feeling that.
Tell you something.
And no,
though.
like the real shit, I didn't see it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I went in the bathroom, I took a picture, and I looked at the picture, I was like, oh nah, you fucking up, D. You know what I mean? So after that, I started, so
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciated that
Yeah.
that honesty that
Yeah.
she needs to still be attracted
Of course,
to me.
of course,
You know what I
of
mean? And
Of course.
I think that's where people go wrong in relationships and marriages. Like he said earlier, you get married and you're like, oh, I got the ring.
yeah,
I'm good. I don't have
Do
to
this.
wake up at 5
Do
o'clock
that.
in the morning. And go to the
Right,
gym
right,
anymore. I
right,
don't have to. But I think that if you choose to get married, and I'm not married, I've never been married, but I feel like, Jimmy, if you choose to get married, you also have to do everything possible to keep your husband, your wife still attracted to you. And not feel some type of way when they give you a look or they say something about how you look.
1000%.
Right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
nah, I appreciated that. Like, it fucked me up because I'm like, yo, what?
it's like, how dare you
Yeah,
look at me like that?
But again, I had to appreciate it. And like, even though with that look, I'm not even going. She had mentioned before that she wasn't digging. Like, I mean, she's like, "You want to go back to the gym? You going like?" She had started.
She
you know
give
what I
you
mean?
the subtle
Yeah, you know what I mean?
hits, subtle
And
clues.
I wasn't, but that look, and I was like,
That
"Oh
look did
damn,
it.
yeah."
That
and
look
I'm-
said it all.
Yeah,
That
and
look
I
said
was
it
like,
all.
"Wow." I was like, "For real?" And
You
she
know-
was like, "Nah."
I ain't gonna lie. Go ahead. Go
No, I
ahead.
was gonna say, but whether it's relationship or marriage, at the same time, you also gotta understand that you are a part of a team, right? You're part of a partnership,
100%.
right? So when you're part of this partnership, you're part of this team, and one got it going on. She taking care of herself. She being healthy. She's putting in the work to make herself look good. But then you just like, I'm just a man.
Whatever.
I'm good. Of course, she gonna look at you left, right? Because that team,
Yeah.
y'all supposed to kind of like reflect each other. You're supposed to resemble each other, right? You're supposed to
sure.
kind of like complement each other. So
sure.
when one is putting in the work, but the other's not, when one's taking care of what their appearance look like, but the other's not, when one is, doing all the activities and doing whatever they got to do, and the other's not, it's gonna cause some sort of like you gonna get that look like,
Yeah.
fuck, what's wrong with this guy?
Bruh.
You know what
I ain't gonna lie. My toxic trait. I got like a million of them. Right. If I would have saw my woman give me that look, I wouldn't have said anything. I would have gotten in the gym. I put my head down. I got in the gym for like 6-7 months, and then the body looking right, and then she want to come touch on me. I'd have been like, "Nah, remember that look you gave me in the kitchen 7 months ago?
You
Don't
shout
touch me."
out, bro. Just not to switch gears, but that look says it all, though. Like
That look
in
says
the
it
back
all.
Of your head, this shit can mess you up. My daughter, my daughter has given me a look. I remember I don't know what I was. I think I was working in the backyard or doing something. I didn't have my shirt on or whatever. I probably had like a t-shirt, but you could kind of like see the
Oh,
belly
man.
a little bit. My daughter, I came upstairs. I went to go get a glass of water. My daughter was like, "Dad." I was like, "What?" She was like, "Dad, your stomach." I was like,
Yo, kids gonna say it.
Yo,
See, your wife gonna give you a
and
look,
at
but
this
your
point,
kids gonna
she's
say
8
it.
years old. And she
Yeah.
8 years old, and she's like 8 years old, and she's already letting me know like, "Your dad,
kids
you
are honest,
slipping."
man. Kids
You know
are
what I mean?
honest. They
Kids
gonna
are
tell you.
honest, You know,
Yeah,
so
they
so
gonna tell you.
imagine what your lady. If your 8-year-old daughter's looking at you like, "Dad, yo, you slipping." So of course your lady she may say something, she may not, depending on what the dynamic of your relationship is. She may not want to say anything to you because
and that's why I appreciate, because that's our relationship.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there gotta be communication. I mean, people say that that's the most important part of it. I think that varies depending on our relationship. It could be, people say that sex shouldn't be the most important part of a relationship. It depends on the relationship. For some relationships, no,
Sex
sex,
is
may
important.
be the most important.
Right, right, right.
absolutely.
So you can't say that, but you need to have, everything needs to be finances, sex, communication. There has to be a balance.
Shout out to Nur Muhammad, right? His brother, Nur Muhammad. He it's Muslim brother. He speaks all over the country, and he says, one of the most important life decisions that you will ever make is the
Right.
woman that you
Yes.
choose.
Agreed.
That is
Agreed.
actual
Agreed.
factuals, man.
Agreed.
I think. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish.
Because there's some women that you get with, right? And you look at them from a standpoint, oh man, she got it together. She got it together. I like this. I like that. You know what I mean? But when you peel the layers back, no matter what anybody thinks about her, how great she is, when you pull the layers back and you really, really know this person, that might be actual a toxic person for you.
Right.
Right woman
Right?
is either going to
She
build
could be
you
a
up or
toxic
break you
person
down.
for you, right? And she could break you down.
I agree.
Meanwhile, she's getting whatever she needs to get from you. But then, there's another woman who may not be, all out there and doing this and doing that and doing that. And that might be the right person that you need to kind of like take you to that place.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Build you to that place where you're like, I'm whole. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
I got you.
It's important.
Yo, what's so crazy about that is one of my biggest fears, right? So we got a married. How long you and your wife been married?
Well, 15, been together 17, 18, married for about 15 years.
Bruh, listen. I can't even fathom, bro. Being married 15 years, bro.
No, actually, been,
Listen, hold on.
This
Listen.
guy.
If I'm married for 15 years,
Yeah, married going on 16. Get married going on 16. Been together for about 18 years. Yeah.
bro, listen, bro.
16 years.
If I'm married for 15 years, at that 10-year mark, this is what I'm gonna need. I'm gonna need the Congressional Medal of Honor. I'm gonna need a parade and a block party.
Yo,
I'm gonna need a Super Bowl ring
you
too,
shot.
because that's yo.
Let me tell you,
I think it's beautiful, but I'm when I hear that, right? Because I got a homeboy who has been married to his high school sweetheart till this day, and when I look at it, I don't see just they've been married for 15, 18 years. I see they went through some shit, and I admire
Shit.
the fortitude
I
to go
swear,
through it
man.
and continue to choose.
Right. Because it is a choice.
Yo,
It's a
you
choice.
clocking 10 years, you going through some shit. You
Yes.
clocking 15, you going through some
That
things.
is
Yo,
some
but
shit.
you know what though? It's funny that you say that if you married that long, you want to have your
want-
Congressional Medal of Honor.
That's right.
Yo, it's some brothers out here that's been married 15 years that every anniversary they just get a hug and a kiss, and that's it. Ain't no medal, ain't no pat on the back, there's no
This shit ain't easy, man.
there's none of that congressional medal, right? It's just one of those things where you understand, hey,
It's
it's part of the job
Give a
description.
hug, like right around the throat. Just give a nice.
You know,
You can't do that.
but you
then
can't
sometimes
do that.
I want to just hug. I love you. Like,
Hey,
you-
listen,
you
the
just
views of our
wanna-
guests doesn't necessarily. But listen, but
I
that's,
mean,
but look, here's the
that's
thing.
real.
But when you're married that long, right? When you're married that long, it's some things that's just inherently built in to marriage, right? And one of those things are sometimes you don't necessarily get the recognition that you feel like you deserve, right? And vice versa for the women. Your women do, depending on the woman, right? Your women do a lot of things to keep the relationship going, right? So, they may not feel like they're getting their actually due diligence.
Problem of mine though too. Sometimes I'm not even gonna lie. Like I'm so work a lot, so I'm so caught up sometimes in making sure that the provision is good. That I have laxed on
Treating her special
yes.
type thing. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so we've had our differences with that. And but when she checks me on it, I try to acknowledge it and do better.
Right.
Now I'm not saying that I'm going to, because my natural course is I'm going to make sure I work. I want to make sure everything's good. So I may tend to fall back on some of that shit, but then she'll, you know what I mean? And I gotta readjust my badge. I know you need, you know what I mean? Women, they need certain
that's
things.
self-realization though. You
certain
realize
reassurance,
when you realize kind of like where you potentially went wrong, and you just self-correct, you do that correction. It's it's a big thing. You
She
know
may
what I'm
have to correct me more than once.
Of course,
You know
listen,
what I mean? But
and this is one of the last episodes we had.
Listen,
We
50
talked
years,
about
I'm
that. Like, yo,
sure.
relationships are not
I
just like a
try.
monotone thing.
Yeah, man.
There's peaks, there's valleys,
valleys.
there's dips, there's parts where you just mess up and you just don't
try.
get it right.
Yeah.
But we're trying. You know what I'm saying?
And that's something too that you definitely need to, men and women, definitely need to recognize the try. You know what I mean? Not necessarily the success. Let's say your lady wants you to meet a certain point, and if you're putting forth that effort, it may not be in you totally to get. She may want a particular thing, and because of who you are, she may want you to, I don't know, plan a certain amount of dates or plan, you know what I mean? And because of how you planning dates ain't really what you
Listen,
feel
I
about
ain't
doing.
gonna lie,
You know what I mean?
I'm
But
with
if
you.
you putting forth the effort, it definitely, I think people, and that's one thing we try to do, acknowledge each other's effort, even if it's not meeting.
Even if it
what
falls
I-
short
yeah,
a little bit, yeah.
But
Like, all right, you tried. You know, I said something. You
and a
tried.
legitimate try,
Yeah,
not just some
bullshit.
bullshit ass. You know what I mean? But you could tell someone is legitimately trying to keep you happy.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got to acknowledge that.
You know what my fear is, man, when it comes to marriage? It's the change, right? I hear a lot of stories, men saying, yo, man, after she put that ring on her finger, she became a different person, like a tyrant. That's my fear, because I am all for, like, we can be married on Monday and not married on Tuesday. Like, I don't care. But
Shit get crazy.
but that's
It's
my
Rick-Lo.
that's my fear, is that someone becomes a completely, I understand there's some shit you're gonna have to work through, but a completely different person. I know dudes that are like, she was not like that when we were not married, and now she's like this.
But think about it. A lot of times that happens, marriage or not. Think about like relationships, like you boyfriend girlfriend relationship. When you're dating,
Right.
she's a certain way. Y'all doing this. She used to do that. She used to give you a little this and all that. As soon as y'all become an item, certain things just stop.
Again, that's kind of the complacency thing. You know what I mean? You kind of get what you want, and you kind of settle into, well, we're married now, so I don't need to do this. Nah, that shouldn't.
so-
it shouldn't change. It should remain
So
the same.
did you experience that from dating to married, and then how did you deal with it?
Gonna be totally honest. No. My wife, fortunately, has pretty much been the same way from when we were dating.
Nice.
She is pretty much the woman that she is. Things that I have seen in it, the things that kind of like weeded her out from the other chicks.
Got you.
She's maintained that, so nah. She has said, and I had to, again, I will admit when I'm wrong, when I certain things that, I may have changed and I had to recorrect them. You know what I mean? But when we got married, I had a problem with, again, my focus changed a little bit, because now that this is my wife, I felt as though I needed to go a little harder as far as working and providing, which you need to do. But in doing that, this kind of goes back to what I was saying before. I kind of laxed on some of the
Gotcha.
Romantic
shit.
things,
You know
right.
what I mean? Because
you
now,
busy trying to get to that
because now
bag.
you're my wife now.
Right.
I gotta get it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I had to kind of balance that a little bit more.
And that's the thing. That's a problem with. Well, that's the kind of the cross us men bear sometimes, because we're thought to be the provider, right? Whether you make more money than your lady or not, we're thought to be the provider, right? So now I'm out on the streets. I'm going to show this house. I'm going to show that house. I'm trying to sell this. I'm trying to sell that. I'm going to this networking event so I can get this particular client, this lender, this person.
You're trying to get
So
it.
you're trying to get to that bag so you could provide. So when it's time for the vacation, you're not digging in your hands like, oh, babe, when it's time for that, summer camp, you trying to like make sure you have what you have. But in that, we also kind of like lax, like you said, we lax on some of the romantic shit,
Mhm.
right? We lax on some of the like the romanticism of being in a relationship, whether you were boyfriend, girlfriend, or dating, or married. We kind of like lose focus on that because we're so busy trying to provide.
Right.
And I think there's a fine line. You gotta be able to be with somebody that can understand. Like, all right, he's out there trying to provide. He's not necessarily just trying to ignore me and not
Right.
taking care of the house.
Right.
He's out there trying to
Right.
provide.
Right.
And then there's a whole other faction of people that's like, I don't care what you got going on. I still need my time, my energy. So with us, we kind of have to try to find that.
Right.
We got trying to find that like that middle ground, and it's tough.
It's tough, man.
It's tough.
It's tough. So you need to understand the woman. You know what I
have
mean?
to.
You need to understand the woman. So you need a woman that understands that if I want certain things, then my man is gonna be doing the things to get me what I want. You know what I mean? So you need a woman that understands that.
So let me ask you real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm not married. You're married, right?
Right.
So for me, right, even when I think about marriage, another thing that scares me is not like women think about the day, the wedding,
Right.
right? Oh, I'm gonna have a dress. When I think about it, and what scares me is the responsibility of it, because you are now responsible for this woman, right? And you want to do the absolute best job you can do. You want to protect her. You want to provide for her. You want to give her everything that she wants, and da 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 da. And that's the part where when I think about it, I'm like, I know I could do it, but can I do it though? So when you got married, what was some of the things that you kind of were afraid of, or kind of like you had to overcome to be like, nah, I could do this?
Nothing necessarily that I was afraid of. I think I had a problem, kind of like what I just said. I did change slightly. Like I said, she didn't change, but I did because after we got married, for some time, I kind of fell off of the romantic stuff, the intimacy,
Yeah.
because you're my wife now. You know what I mean? So I gotta get, you know what I mean?
Right,
Like I
right,
want to
right.
provide for you. I want to do for you. So I kind of felt, and I fall short on that sometimes because I'm romantic. I love this woman, but I'm also, I work. Like I want to get it. I want the house. I want the, you know what I mean? So I don't do well with multitasking.
Got you. So when you focus on
So
work,
yes,
you focus on work, and then
yeah,
everything else falls to the wayside.
and I gotta reel myself back
Got
in
you,
sometimes.
got
Be
you,
like,
got you,
yo,
got you.
AD, you losing her. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like she's fault. You're not paying her no, and she'll
let you know.
she let me fucking know. You know what I mean? She let me know, and I gotta, okay, all right, and I'll try to readjust, okay, and I'll try to give her the attention that's needed, and try to maintain that. It's a balance of that, man. That shit ain't hard, but that shit ain't easy. But like I said, that I'm fortunate enough to have a woman that tends to recognize.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So I'm fortunate that she makes it kind of easy.
I can see your wife, you know, knowing what I know about it. First of all, his wife is a 3-time world champion kickboxer, right? Actually, she's not. I'm bullshit. She's not, right?
Oh, you was joking?
Next time I see her, she gonna have mad jokes.
She really gonna knock somebody
Oh
head
no,
off.
she got hands though.
Next time I see her, she like, you waffle color.
Yeah,
Crazy.
She got hands though.
But I will say this though, when I look at their marriage, like I said earlier, I'm like, they could do it. I could do it, right? If they can overcome it, I can figure out how to overcome it. And in moments where I feel like I can't figure out how to overcome it, I could call him and have a conversation, and he'll help me figure out how to overcome it, right?
Yeah.
So I think that as black men, man, like we spoke about previously, it's important to have a circle around you,
Yes.
Absolutely,
right?
man.
That's going to check you when you need to be checked, right? Support you when you need to be supported, and guide you when you need to be guided.
We lucky we had that circle. We lucky.
Yeah.
We
I'm gonna
got
tell you
brothers.
something. I'm glad you touched on that because shout out to my boy Ladoon. Ladoon, he has this thing called the prayer room where every once in a while he'll go on a live and then he'll read scripture and
Okay.
pull out some some passages kind of like talk about everyday life or whatever. And this morning he talked about being careful who you're yoked with. You know what I mean? Because you can be going through some stuff and you're like, God, why am I going through this? Why am I going through this? And it has nothing to do with you. It's about who you're taking your walk with, who you're yoked with. You know what I'm saying? So it's super important. It's super important about who you are being yoked with, whether it's your circle, whether it's your spouse, your girlfriend, whatever the case is.
Right.
That's one of the things that you gotta pay attention to because like we talked about last time, you can have some people have great circles, some people got fucked up circles. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been in both. I've been in circles where people have grabbed me by my collar, like, yo, Jay, you tripping. And I have circles that just kick you in your back and just talk shit about you for whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I've been fortunate or unfortunate enough to experience both. And what I take from that is you definitely gotta know who you yoke with and be careful who you yoke with because some people are going through their own things and just by association you're gonna experience some of that blowback just period, right?
Gotcha.
So it's important who you're married to, who you're dating, who you're doing a podcast with, who
Yeah.
you're being friends with.
True.
You know what I mean? Your circle super important.
No, I agree with that. Your circle is either gonna make or break you.
Period.
Agreed.
Period.
But so people gonna see this, right? They gonna make mad assumptions solely because you're a black man. Black man, married. I know he cheated, right? These are the assumptions, right? And in my intro, the reason why I called you superheroes because I know your commitment to your marriage. To know for a fact that, again, that has never occurred. And that's another reason why I also look to you as a superhero. Because I'm like, man, I need to be like that, right? How do you, as a black man, no homo, a handsome brother, right? How do you choose to stay faithful?
Well, you said she's a kickboxer, right? She gonna kick.
Bruh,
No,
three-time world
I'm joking. I'm joking. Yeah, man.
She'll swing. It's a choice. Monogamy is not natural.
That's another topic.
It's not. It's
Much
a
time we got.
choice.
It's a choice.
Yeah,
It's a choice.
it's a choice.
So it's a. My wife told me she was like, she told me one time too. She was like, I don't want to. She's like, I don't want any chick to ever know something about you that I don't. Meaning like,
She don't want somebody else to have the one up on her.
yeah. You know what I mean? So, like you out here doing whatever you doing and you got some chick she got some chick that can tell her, well, yeah, I was with your man, such.
Yeah, I got you.
You know what I mean? I recognized that. I was like, all right, I feel that. You know what I mean? It's not easy. Cause
Wait, that wasn't like a pass to go get a side piece.
Nah.
It was just
Just don't be out here doing no
Gotcha.
fuck shit.
Dumb shit.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, just don't be out here doing.
Don't embarrass.
Yeah,
her.
word.
embarrass
You know what I mean?
embarrass
Like,
her.
I mean, like, it's not easy, man. Like, I'm a person. I like being in a relationship. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's different, and I don't know. I'm gonna say this, and some chicks maybe. I don't think because if a dude cheats on you, he don't love you.
Okay, talk about it.
I don't think that if a man is sleeping with somebody else, that he doesn't love the woman he with.
Okay.
I don't think that. I don't. Now, some women they gonna disagree with that,
Of course.
100%.
but I don't think that.
Right.
Everyone's different in the their ability to choose to be faithful, that ability, because that urge is a
Yeah,
lot
true.
for some people.
True. Strong.
You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go ahead.
No, I think it's definitely a choice. I think that every man has to reach their number, whether it's age or it's how many women you slept with, right? It may be, man, I'm 35, I'm 40, I don't want to do this no more.
Yeah.
Or it's, man, I done slept with X amount of number of women, I don't want to do this no more. And then you change, because no woman, no matter how great she is going to come along and change a man if he has not reached his number.
Word. Agree.
This is not, you could be superwoman. You're not going to change a man if he hasn't reached his number.
Agree.
And I'm gonna be a little different. I don't think it's a number, right? Whether it's age or body count or how many notches you got on your belt. I think as a man, we get to a certain point in our lives where we just want, I say it, we just want peace.
Right.
You know
you
what I'm
had
saying?
you had to reach a certain
Yeah, you
You
get
had
to
to
that point.
reach a certain
You had to get that point.
age,
but that
whatever.
might, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I might want peace at 35. I
Right.
might want peace at 40, right? So I don't know if it's necessarily a number, but I think certain guys go through certain things in their life where they're just like, man, like I just don't have the desire to fuck around. Yo.
I the peace that it comes with being able to like sit my phone down and not worry about it ringing.
Worry about that shit ringing.
You know what I mean? Or if it does ring,
Then you ain't
she can
tripping.
give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like that's real.
That is real.
It's a different level of confidence
Yeah,
right there, bro.
My phone, like real shit. It's been times like I remember telling my wife's phone, like something wrong with her phone. And I was in home. She wanted to go. She about to go to the store, and she didn't want to leave it out. Take my phone. I don't give a fuck.
And there's a lot of men that will.
You know what I mean?
not
Because
do
I
that.
don't. She got my password. And that's because she makes it easy for me to be faithful. I don't want the drama. I'm past that headache and the drama, and it's a lot to like lie. It's
a lot of work,
man.
It's a lot of work.
But again, it's a lot of work to me. It may not be a lot of work to other person, and I'm not faulting them if that's not where they are yet.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think that's important too.
I'm not faulting them if that's what, and some people may never reach that point.
Right.
And that's they all right. That's
They're all right if they acknowledge, accept it, and live accordingly. But you got, because we hold everybody accountable on this podcast, you got some dudes who know that about themselves, and they still present themselves in an entirely different manner.
Facts.
Right? So you got to know, like, you know what? I ain't for relationships. I ain't for marriage. I ain't trying to be monogamous. I'm trying to have a roster. I think that's 100% fine. But I think that you have to communicate that when you are out here dealing with women or men.
I'm gonna take it a step further. I also think there's certain dudes, there's certain guys out here that they get to a point where they experience something and they're just like, man, I don't want to ever experience that shit again.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So now, like, yo, I flipped the coin. I don't ever want to go through that shit again. So now I'm walking on a good foot. I'm stepping correctly because that shit was traumatic.
what you just said, something right? Okay, so I'm trying to. What you just said. Some guys. So you think that it's gonna sound fucked up.
Just say it,
Let
bro.
it go,
Just
let
say
it fly.
All right, so let's say you're in a relationship and you're with a woman that you want to be with. You desire, like, she's giving you what you need. But you desire
Other women.
other women.
Okay.
Does not mean you don't love her.
Right.
Does not mean she's not a great mother. She's not, but that what she's giving you sexually, I don't even just say sexually, but intimately, like,
Intimately is
yeah,
a good word.
you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
It's just not hitting.
Yeah, like
I think that's where ultimately the responsibility as men come into place, yo. Think about how many times you done told your son he can't have that toy. You know what I'm saying? Think about how many times you done told your son he can't go down to the park after dark because of safety issues. I think as men, ultimately we come across what we have, what we desire. And then what we desire sometimes can be so appealing that we want to get it. But then the man part of us, the responsibility part of us says, you know what? I want that shit bad, but let me leave that shit the fuck alone because I'm just going to jam myself up.
But honestly, okay, let's say, like, again, I don't think monogamy is natural. So let's say you're in a relationship with this, and you are not giving yourself what you need because you're trying to be what you need to be for this, what she wants.
Yeah.
But it's not.
I think the answer to that question is easy.
Okay. Talk about
Both of y'all was like,
okay.
I think the question to the answer is easy. I think that, again, as a man, right, you have to sit somewhere by yourself and acknowledge, in all honesty, what it is that you want. Right? I think it's okay to say, you know what, she is a good woman, and I do love her. She gives me what I need over here, but what I really need, I am not getting. And I think it's your responsibility as a man to be like, to stand on that, right? Because if at the end of the day, if you're not getting what you really want / need, you just faking it over here with her, and it's only a matter of time until you get further and further. 1 year, 2 year, 3 years. Now at year 6 of you trying to be something for this woman that you're not.
But what if she is giving you
Everything.
But you said sexually. I'm talking about sexually. You said sexually, right? So if she's not giving you what you want sexually, you got to be honest with yourself and be like, I'm not getting what I want sexually, and have the decency, instead of dragging her along for X amount of years, you have to have the decency to sit down with her and be like, listen, babe, and have a conversation with her and let her choose, because eventually
the choice
that is going to overtake you.
Okay. Right. So now we touching on the subject. That sexual desire is fleeting, my friend. You know what I mean? It's fleeting. Like, I could be getting everything I want in this person right here. She's hitting everything except for the sexual desire, right? Maybe it might be a momentary sexual desire. Maybe it's like, damn, you saw this one person, and you're like, damn, I gotta have it. I gotta tackle that, right? So now you getting everything you need over here, but you came across one person, you're like, damn, I got to. That right there is where you gotta be like, hi, yo, let me chill, because the moment I conquest that, I'm gonna be like, I'm not even gonna be interested. But then I just fucked up what I had over here with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
When I was little, they had something called a DARE program.
I remember the DARE
right?
program. Yeah.
And the main slogan was, just say no.
Of course.
Just say no and walk away.
And that's the point. That's the point.
There is no magic pill to that. You just gotta be like,
fuck it.
I'm gonna go this way.
I'm gonna go this way. And
You
it's
gotta
the same
do
thing.
that.
This is why I refer to, like, you telling your kid no when they want something. Like, you know that's not good for your
gotta
kid.
tell yourself.
You gotta
Tell yourself no.
no.
Agreed.
Because the minute you don't, it's the countdown started, bro. Eventually that shit's gonna mess you up.
100%.
And you're gonna be the one holding the bag, crying, fucked up, and all because you couldn't say no at that time.
Agreed.
You know what I mean?
Agreed.
So, as our superhero, my superhero for the day,
It's a good
brother's my
tag
superhero.
together.
What would be your advice to young men thinking about getting married? First question. Second question is, what would be your advice to men who are married and how to maintain the fortitude to continue their marriage?
If you're thinking about getting married, honesty with yourself. That's one of the first, because you have to understand that when you get married, it's not just about you. That other person's feelings,
Right.
you have to really consider wholeheartedly what this is. No longer just you, it's what's best for us.
Gotcha.
So are you ready and willing to do that, to really be considerate about this other person's feelings? Because that's not going to change as long as you're married. You if you're not willing to be considered, then the marriage is not going to work. You got to take that. So, are you willing to just factor the other person in every decision that you make? You have to be a simple decision of me coming to your house. I gotta be, I gotta factor in how she's gonna feel. Like, I need to run down. I could be simple, me just running down to your crib, but let me reach out to her to make sure, because she may need me to come the fuck home and,
Right.
you know what I mean, do something. So you have to be considerate about that. You know what I mean? That's a key. Consider, are you willing and ready to, and I don't want to necessarily say not be selfish, but have someone else matter as much as you matter to yourself.
Got you.
You know what I mean? Are you ready to do that? To have
Facts.
that person have someone else matter to you, as and not your children. You know what I
Not
mean?
because
Because
of the
yeah. Nah, just someone else's feelings.
Right.
Am I ready to have someone else, for me to have to listen to someone else's feelings, what someone else's concern is, and have that matter to me?
Gotcha.
I think that's what I gotta learn. Sometimes I be like, I want to hear that shit.
Yeah.
I'd
I'd be like, sometimes I don't want to hear that shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, and your second question was how to,
How do you stay? What would be your advice to people who are married? How to maintain that fortitude to stay in the marriage?
try to look at the other person's position. If
Okay.
that's, it's easy to look at what you're doing and what you need and what you want.
Right.
Try to look at the other person and what it is it's going to take for them to give you what you need and what you want. If that makes sense.
Does.
Because my man Ant said this too. In being in a relationship, sometimes you got to think about, do I want to be right or do I want peace? You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Do I want to be right
Gotta pick and choose your battles, man.
or do I want peace?
Right.
You know what I mean? So sometimes you have to kind of, what it is you're feeling. Is this fight worth
Yeah.
Right.
My peace.
continuing? You know what I mean? Is it worth? Is it worth? Because sometimes when my wife get on my nerves, which is a lot, something she do, I ask myself, was that malicious, or was that just she had a bad day? She had a, you understand what I'm saying? Like so, and if I have a problem with it, I ain't like that. I bring it to her. That wasn't right. I didn't agree with that. And then she may have had a bad day. She may, shit just ain't going right. So talk about it. Got it. And move forward. Another thing too, not holding on to shit. That's another thing that's you gotta try not do. Hold on to because y'all gonna get each other's nerves all the fucking time.
Past transgressions.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
past,
yeah.
Whatever it is in the past.
You got it. You can't hold on to shit. You can't.
Go. Yeah.
You can't keep reliving bullshit too.
Even
Once you
if-
decide to get over it,
Yeah.
It's
go
over.
past it. Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah, man. We fought about something in January. It's no sense that it's June. We still fighting about
Yeah.
it. You already forgave me for that. We already talked about that. Why are we going through this again?
I'm not saying you're gonna forget it,
Mhm.
but you just can't keep reliving it.
No, I feel you. I feel you on that. Yo, we got a real live superhero in the building.
Alright.
All
Today,
right. We broke the mold today. Let me tell you why. On social media, you hear a lot about black men cheating. Black men don't marry black women. He has a beautiful black wife. Black men aren't great
blackity black.
fathers. We ain't even touch on
Yeah, 4 kids.
the amazing dad aspect, right? We broke the mold today because we have a man here who is a father, a husband, a provider, a protector, and a role model. So this whole idea that black men aren't this, we just proved that we are. So
Absolutely. All right. Well,
there we go.
guys,
We
this
did it.
was another wonderful episode. We appreciate y'all. Tune in for the next one. We're gonna have another amazing guest who's gonna cover a range of topics. And Shakir, why don't you take us out, bro?
Yo, man, in life, there are no mistakes. And again, today we broke the mold. We disproved the idea that black men aren't, and we proved that they are because he is not one of few; he's one of many, and
Agreed.
that is
Love
the idea of black men that we're pushing on this podcast. So, till next time, stay married. We out.
All right, no
Peace.
mistakes. We
No
out.
mistakes.
Black, stop playing with him.